Hello my friends, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to Off the Board with Pineapple Papers, hashtag OTBWPP, day 4, and therefore since it is the 4th, it is one of my projects for Spiegelmomscraps. So, I wanted to work, of course, with my collection obsession, the 49 and Market Vintage Artistry Everywhere. And when I talked to you about that, I was talking about the cover page of the Foundations pack and how that could be used. So you're going to see that I have very little pattern paper on this layout, and I used mainly the cover actually here. So you can tell here by seeing all of these punch circles, that there are some fun shaker elements. And then I did use a little bit of one of the sheets, the 40599, which is a gorgeous, very dark peach going into orange with a little bit of coral. Just a lovely, lovely, lovely color. So very little pattern paper. Lots of fun circles, because you can see up here, you can see the pin that I am using for today's layout. And I've been wanting to use this for quite a while, and I think I'm going to have to revisit it and use it again, because I sort of went a little bit rogue. Because if you could look at it, the idea is sort of almost a vertical element in a column form of those gorgeous circles overlapping a lot more than I did. And I sort of started with that idea as I came down this side of the photo, but then it just sort of went everywhere. But I love, love, love this layout. So for the sequins, I am working with the June release, which of course is still in the shop. I'm not sure. Now, I should go and look and maybe write it down for you, whether it is still as a pre-order or whether they are now individual. I know Find the Joy, I'm pretty sure Find the Joy is individual in the shop. But if it's still a pre-order, then of course you would not use my code, because your price will be even better. And if they are individual, then of course just go ahead and use Moira15 and get 15% off your order. So I used Find the Joy and Frolic Along. Now, Find the Joy is an absolute match, of course, for the Everywhere collection, and Frolic Along is a little bit more subdued, but still in the same color schemes, and matches the photo here beautifully. This will go into Joey's family album. So I use the Frolic Along in the smaller shaker pockets, and Find the Joy in the larger. So for the larger here, I used a 2-inch circle punch and a 1.5. And then here I used a 1.5 and a 1 1/4. So these are a little bit, you can see a little bit of the foam, and I may have to do a little bit of work on these, but I do still sort of love this effect. So to begin with, my first idea was to maybe use some of these gorgeous rub-ons on the background, but one, I chickened out a little bit, but in reality, I also, when I use these, I want them to be a little bit more of a focal point and make sure they show a little bit more, because of course in the end, I use some packaging technique here, and you can see it, but a lot of it is covered up. So I use packaging technique with Heidi Swap Color Shine in Peach, Shimmer's colorings, 2 colorings, and Don't Citron Me, and Heidi Ho Blue, which match the collection very, very well. So I got my packaging technique down. So as you can see, this is a share today, my friends. And that might be for the next few videos as well, as we are going into a heat wave this week and extreme humidity. So that turning off fans and opening windows may not be an option, turning off fans and turning off air conditioners. So other than very, very early in the morning, as I am doing now. So got my packaging technique down, got this lovely photo. I love this kind of photo. Joy took this. So I think that could sort of be the intro page to that portion of the album, so Salute Tropea, and I used my gold Fitzgerald, which I still have almost this full pack. Did you notice, by the way, that Chanel is coming out with another collection, and there is Fitzgerald alphas in there? I think they're purple glitter. Oh my goodness me. And then I used some smaller gold foam letters there. And I also used, oh, wait a minute, a few of the asterisks from the Fitzgerald, because I wanted to bring just a touch of that glitter over in other areas on the page. I got my shaker elements, and then I used a lot of the circles, for instance, you know, in the inside portion of these punched out circles, just here and there on the page. You can see in the pin there are different sizes. Some are raised, some are not. So I followed that fairly closely, and I added some of the circles, and then I put this little chipboard sort of flare. Then I got my little magpie flare out that go with this collection, with the Everywhere collection. I used 2 of the map flare and 1 of this sort of burlap type texture, and I love, love, love that. So I have 3 flare on here, which give, and they give another texture and a different dimension. I did not pop them up, so they are sort of flat to the page, so they give a dimension which is not quite as high as the shakers, but higher than obviously being, you know, flat. So that gives extra interest to the page. I then used the Finding Joy sequins and added some in a lot of all of these open spaces to give some extra shimmer and sparkle, and I love that. And then, of course, when I looked at this layout, I loved it. It's gorgeous, but of course I had my naked edges, and I have done this before where I've used more than one color for my outlining. I did that, I think, was it for the My Scrappy Life, the virtual crop? I think I did. I used these 2, sort of navy and this lovely green. Well, this time I brought in Calypso Coral as well, and I basically did 3 outlines all the way around the frame of my layout, and I quite like the effect that that gives. So there you go, my friends, another gorgeous, you know I love my shaker elements. I didn't do any, I think, in June, so I definitely needed to bring those back for July. They are still, to me, they are one of the most basic ways of using our gorgeous, gorgeous sequins, but they are still one of the most impactful and gorgeous ways to use them for me, for sure. And one of the easiest ways as well. So there you go, my friends. Day 4 of Off the Board with Pineapple Papers. The playlist, of course, will be down below so that you can see everybody else. We are all adding our videos to the playlist. I've also put Crystal's channel down below in case you get lost or wherever. You can just always go to Crystal's channel to see what's going on. And I will see you back here on the 17th with another Spiegelmomscraps layout. My affiliate link for the shop is down below if you are so inclined to follow that to get to the shop quickly. Use my code, of course, and thank you so much for being here. Bye for now, my friends. See you soon.